Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Vilas, Colorado, home of the South Baca Patriots. You're tuning in to tonight's girls basketball matchup between the South Baca Patriots coming in with a 2-3 record, wins, three losses record, and the Stanton County Trojans who sit at a 3 ratio with three wins and three losses for the season. I'm Devin Thompson with your commentator for tonight's game, followed alongside Lily Pettinger as our co-commentator,
Hello.
and Tiffany Willis who is on camera to bring you all the action. Both teams are hungry for a win with records this close. We are set for a great night of basketball. The Patriots will be defending their court here in Vilas, while the Trojans are looking to pick up a big road win. Sit back, relax, and get ready. Tip off is coming up next. After these, our presenting sponsors actually are Ogallala Commons and Maverick Media and DMM Options, followed by our others being Cook Oil, Keywords Credit Union, Cobblestone Inn and Suites, oh, Justa Stitchin, and Brooks Farm. Thank you for the nation sponsors as well allows us to stay running. Now, for our first uh, sponsor, thank you.
Brooks Farms,
I was
a
told to
proud
after that.
supporter of
So, okay.
Southeast
It's okay.
Colorado
We're good. We're
sports,
good. We're
We're
good.
okay. We're
wishes
good.
all
Just this
student
time. Give us a
athletes
resume.
a successful season. We wish you success in developing skills that will be used in everyday life.
I don't think it hurt
Teamwork,
anything.
dedication, and work ethic.
No.
Good luck to all athletes of Southeast
I have to
Colorado.
do one.
I could do that already.
Oh, whoa. Okay. No, I need a
Since
Sydney.
1956, People's
You feel like
Credit
I have
Union
a
has been
girlfriend?
dedicated
The
to
boys
serving the
don't
hardworking
know.
farmers, ranchers, and residents of Southeast Colorado. With locations in Springfield and Lamar, we're here for you. Join our community of members at peoples-cu.com and experience a financial institution that truly cares. People's Credit Union. We work for you, committed to providing professional, accurate, and prompt financial services. People's Credit Union, your trusted financial partner since 1956. Member NCUA and Equal Opportunity
I'm
Lender.
watching.
DM Auctions provides full service auction service from setup to settlement. We do every kind of auction imaginable: farm, estate, business, liquidation, household moving sales, real estate. If you don't have enough items to warrant an individual auction, we can do a buyout, where we purchase your items, lock, stock, and barrel and liquidate them ourselves via our monthly consignment sale. Another service we provide is order buying. If you are looking for something, we will find it. Give us a call today.
All right, welcome back. The game is just about to start with our with the current lineup will be announced shortly. To the flag. I'm using the mic, you're fine.
States of
America.
God, and
To
to
the
the
republic
republic
for
for
which
which
it
it
stands,
stands,
the one
one
nation
nation,
under
under God,
God, indivisible,
indivisible,
with
with
liberty
liberty
and
and
justice
justice for all.
for all. Alrighty, everybody. We are just about to start our player lineups. Par- Number one, Narin. Number two, Kendall Floyd. These are our starting teams. Number three, Aisley Rodriguez. My apologies. Number five, Summer Kendrick. Number 10, Jersey Okola. Number 11, number 13, Kenzie Faberger. Ring Fabringer. Well, the rest is those names. Kate Cannon, Nick Cleaner, Simon Jaylene Grant, Jaylene, and Avery Scott. Our South backup players is Mallory Johnson as our setup. 21, Eliana Gutierrez.
Gutierrez.
That's what I said. 22, Jaden Griggett. And number 23, Sarah Elmore. And 24, Abigail Anderson. But with the backup players being J.C. Ormiston as number 10 and Brielle Bond as number 12. The tip-off is starting shortly. You are breathing into the mic.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, do you want to fix it? Just like bring it up. You'll be
Wait,
fine.
Go, go, go.
All right. Let's see who gets the ball. Tiffany, adjust the camera as needed. All right, adjust the camera as you feel fit. And in Stanton County, when the Trojans won the tip off, granting them the ball. Number 1 passes it to number 10, who what bounces off the rim. However, with a nice with a good rebound, he managed to get the ball back. Which one was it? Number 10 got that.
I believe number 13.
Number 13, nice shot. A turnaround as the ball was stolen from the South Baca Patriots. Ball is passed to 11, who goes for a 3-shot pointer. However, they miss. Number 10 as it's number 1 as they drove down the court. Oh, my apologies. Uh, 23. Sarah Elmore rushes down the court. Goes for a 3-pointer, but misses. I believe the ball went out of bounds at some point, or there was a foul. I believe, yes. Number 1 goes for a fake out and then passes it to number 11. He passes it back to number 1. He does solid chain effort as number 5 goes up for a quick rebound, but there is a foul on a physical foul on 24, which is on Abigail Anderson. Foul. Number 5 gets her first. Summer gets her first free throw. Good for her. She goes up for her second and makes it in with relative ease. Good job, Summer. Eliana heads the court and passes it over to Sarah Elmore, who is quick enough to pass to Jaden. My bad. No, wait. Jazzy. Number 4. So goes up for a 2-pointer, but barely misses. Luckily, a bit of a fight to keep the ball, but luckily the ball hits one of the Trojans' foot or something, and it goes out of bounds, granting the ball to South Baca. So it goes for a solid point, but Baca's off the rim. Ooh, push foul on a push foul on 24 on Abigail Anderson again. Yet another foul. Already has a good set. Their defensive setups on the other side as they go for a solid offense right there, which grants number 13. Thank you. A free 2-pointer. South back. Sarah breaking some ankles, and it goes for a shot. However, she unfortunately misses as number 13, Kenzie heads to court, passes it to 11. He goes for a 3-pointer and makes it. Good for Good for her. 40, 40. And there is a 30-second timeout. We would, and now would be an amazing, another time, great time to bring up our sponsors. Our sponsors. With our head ones being the Ogallala Commons, Maverick Media, and D&M Auctions. With our others being Cook Oil, People Credit Union, Cobblestone Inn and Suites, Justa Stitchin, and Brooks Farm. Now, back to the action. It's up as it seems. South Vaca will be starting with the ball. Oh, after a bit of attempting to avoid the ball from being stolen, the ball unfortunately gets flung out of bounds. However, it is out on the Trojans, which therefore gives South back of the ball once again. A bit of change in plays as the ball gets passed over to number 12, Jaden Griggett. No, Brielle Bond. My apologies. My apologies. Seems to have Brielle Bond. Number 1 is passes over to number 10. That being Jer- Jersey. Sorry if I apologize if I say that I'm saying these wrong. If I butcher any names in advance. Eliana passes it over to Sarah, who goes for a 3-pointer and barely misses as it hits the rim. The Trojans go for a quick and easy 2-pointer. However, at 2-pointer, which they barely miss as South back successfully gets to steal the ball. Sarah Elmer goes in for a quick rush, and unfortunately, the ball rolls right off the wrist, therefore causing a few issues. Number 10 on the Trojans makes their way down court and passes over, causing a bit of a chain effect as they just seem to be passing back and forth to try to get the South Baca Patriots cluttered into one place so they could like keep them distracted or whatever. Number 1 has pretty much has number 11 has a free 3-pointer shot, but unfortunately misses as it bounces off the court. Ball goes out of bounds on the Trojans, granting South back of the ball. Sarah Elmer passes it in to Jazzy, number 4. Is it Jazz or is that Jordan?
I don't know.
Whatever. Number 10 goes steals the ball successfully and goes in for a quick it goes in for 2 points. I forgot what the term is. Awkward. Maury passes it over to Jazzy, trying to keep the clock here. Oh, the ball rolls out of bounds as Jazzy loses grip on the ball and Roseman loses grip on the ball. The Trojans now having the ball in possession. Number 10 makes their way down court as they pass it over to number 1. Number 1, who tries to stop the ball as much as possible, so that way they can get the ball inbound in the area, so they could go for a 2-pointer, which they mostly get. 13. Kenzie gets another. Kenzie gets another 2-pointer. The score is currently 13-0, with the Trojans on top. The ball gets passed to Mary Brewer. Passes it back to Sarah Elmore. Therefore, passes it over to Jaden Griggett. However, the ball gets stolen by number 10 on the Trojans. Luckily, Brielle Bond seems to be keeping her relatively distracted. The ball gets passed back and forth by trying to get a free shot from number 10, who successfully gets it. However, the ball bounces off the rim. Number 13 goes for another shot, but misses, as now the ball almost gets out of bounds, but luckily number 11 was able to catch. The ball gets past the 10, who is trying to let the ball, their 13 get to catch up, and the 3-point barely misses as it bounces off the rim. Number 10 now passes it over to 1, who passes it back to 10. A bit of back and forth there. Passes it up to 13. It tries to go up for a 2-pointer, but unfortunately it's fouled by 23, Sarah Elmore, for her second foul.
South Back is really having a hard time
Yup.
getting a point.
Agreed. No, her first foul. My apologies. Sarah Elmore's first foul. They missed first their first free throw. It was 11 was successful in getting their first. Their 30-second timeout is in the making. So, yep, we will be back shortly. We don't have, we don't have enough time to do a commercial because it's only 30 seconds. So let's do. Well, before we can even do anything, seems like this thing is already basically done. So, yeah. All right, let's. Hopefully, South Baca was able to get a breather and make a new plan to get some few points. But Trojans were probably able to adjust their strategy a bit to get their better points. As Elmore passes it in to Braille, who passes it back over to Elmore. Passes it over to Brewer. My apologies. Yeah, that's mine.
Sarah Elmore has the ball. And she passes it into Brielle Bond, who passes it back to Sarah Elmore. Passes it to Mary Brewer. Double dribble.
Granting the ball to the Trojan. As now, I don't know. Oh wow! As now, the number 10 quickly passes it to 12, but unfortunately is 12 is unable to catch it, flinging it out of bounds, granting the ball possession to South Baca. With 40 seconds left on the timer and a 14-point difference, let's see if South Baca can successfully score a point here. Unfortunately, there is a foul on 10, a foul on Jersey in the from Stanton from the Trojans, granting Sarah Elmore 2 free throws. Fun fact: Sarah actually has a free throw percentage of 53. She misses her first one. And misses her second as well. However, Sarah quickly regains the ball and passes it to Brewer. Passes it over to Bond, who was going for a shot. However, due to a jump, I believe jump ball, the ball still belongs to South Baca with a little bit less than 20 seconds left on the timer. Let's see if they could. Oh, that is out a second time, granting the ball to Trojans as the first quarter is seems to be coming to an end shortly. The score is currently 0-14 with Trojans on top. Ball gets passed over to 11. Passes it over to 12, who goes for a free three-pointer, who almost gets it, but it bounces off the rim. With 5 seconds left on the clock, there is a travel. Five seconds isn't a lot of time, but let's see if they can do something crazy here. Passes over to Mary Elmore, who not Mary Elmore, Mary Elmore, sorry, Mary Brewer. As the quarter comes to an end, the current score being 14-0, with the Trojans on top. Ain't looking pretty for the South Baca Patriots, but they could still have a chance.
Yeah, for sure. It's a really, really defensive team, the Trojans are. And South Back is just having a hard time getting it back.
Yup. Couldn't agree more. My bad, my bad, my bad. My apologies. Again, our presenting sponsors who are Ogallala Commons, Maverick Media, and D&M Auctions. We have Cook Oil, People's Credit Unions, Cobblestone Inn and Suites, Justa Stitchin LLC, and Brooks Fund being major supporters for Setrock for this broadcast scene, who gets us paid, gives us students paid to do this. So we are actually getting paid to do this really fun activity, which is both a plus and, I mean, who wouldn't want to get paid for doing something they enjoy? I mean, I sure would. I'd love to get that.
The Trojans have the ball. Number 10.
Starts out the run as they, however, Sarah Elmer number 3 goes for a save. However, the ball still goes out of bounds as South Baca now is in possession of the ball. But Sarah Elmore will be starting with the ball for this as she passes it over to Eliana, who is having a bit of difficulty with number 20. But with Jalen on the Trojans. However, Elmore manages to quickly steal the ball and get herself a 2-pointer. Good for her. First point of the match for South Baca. Let's hope this is a sign that will go uphill. Up will be an improvement from here. 13 best is 12, who has access to a 3-3-pointer, but misses just barely as it bounces off the rim. Due to believe a travel. No, not travel. No, that's not right.
It went out of bounds.
Out of bounds. Thank you. Thank you. The ball goes out second time, I believe, as it rolls off of one of the Trojans' bodies, and now the ball is currently in possession of the South Baca Patriots as Mallory Johnson passes it over to Jazzy.
Jump ball.
Jump ball. The ball still, however, belongs to South Baca Patriots. As South Baca seems to be doing a box type looking play, but due to a foul on number 10, there is a slight that
This is number 10's second foul.
second foul as Sarah misses her first free throw. Let's see if she can let's see if she can get her second. So this is she only does have just have a decent free throw shot. as she manages to get it in. Good for her. Setting the score to 3-14. Number one, Carly started us off a as three accidentally bumps into one of the girls. Granting South back of the ball as Sarah Elmore is leading leading the offensive assault. She seems to be considering her options at the moment as she passes it over to number 4, Jazzy. Eliana starts up, be starting, tries to go down the court but gets surrounded as she passes it. So she passes it over to Jaden Griggett. Passes it back to Jazzy, but it gets marked for a travel. The ball is now in possession of the. No, the Trojans are now in possession of the ball. Yes. Well, 13 passes over to one, who passes it back over to her as she goes for a quick 2-pointer, which she is successful in achieving, giving her 4 2-pointers at this moment. Quite impressive.
South Baca has the ball, and number 21, Eliana,
passes it over to Jaden Griggett. Thank you very much, by the way. Who loses the ball as it gets sent over to giving them the Trojans a free 2-pointer.
And it also gives number 13 10 points in the first half.
Dang, impressive. A layup, that's what it's called. As she did an impressive layup. There we go. That's the word I was looking for this entire time. As about two players on each team are swapped out. As now South Baca is in possession of the ball. Brielle will be pushing as she passes it over to Abigail Anderson. Passes it back over to Sarah Elmer, who passes it to Abigail Anderson, who gets a free shot with unguarded. However, the ball bounces off the rim as number 13 passes it to number 1 on Trojans and goes for a 3-pointer which bounces off the rim. That's number 20 bounces over to one who also goes for a 3-pointer, which again bounces off the rim.
South Baca has the ball now.
Yep. Sarah Elmore passes it over to Abigail Anderson, number 24. Passes it over to Eliana Gutierrez. I hope I said that right. Who goes for a 2-pointer, but it bounces off the backboard.
Number 13 on the Trojan side has the ball.
Passes it over to number 1, who passes it over to 14. New player by the looks of it, who was just put in recently. Passes it over to back to 13. Kenzie, right? Yeah, Kenzie. I'm Kenzie. If I'm saying this right, again, I apologize in advance. I am not good with names. As now, the ball can go out of bounds, but still belongs to Trojans. As number 13 goes for a 2-pointer, but misses. As now, Abigail Anderson passes it over to Sarah Elmore, granting South back of possession of the current ball of the ball. Sarah Elmore passes it over to Eliana Gutierrez, who is mostly unguarded up to now, where she is double teamed. The ball gets out of her grasp, but gets caught. Brielle is currently is rushing into the court, who passes it over to Sarah Elmore, who goes for a 2-pointer, but it rolls off the rim.
Trojans have the ball, and number 13 almost made an easy shot.
But due to a foul on, I believe, a foul on Mallory Johnson. The Trojans get 2 free throws. That Trojan in particular being Arcely. Again, sorry if Arcely. Again, I'm sorry if I say this wrong. Who makes her first free throw. but misses her second as
South Baca
a minute long a minute long
timeout.
timeout is called. We'd like to thank our sponsors, and we'll be back.
At Ogallala Commons, we aim to support vibrant High Plains communities, and a critical part of that is workforce and leadership development.
Yes,
In the past 20 years, we've hosted nearly 800 community-based paid internships for students and adults,
I keep
and
thanking the
invested
sponsors.
thousands of dollars in youth business owners through entrepreneurship fair competitions. Learn more or apply at ogallalacommons.org/efair or ogallalacommons.org/internships.
All right, welcome back as the game seems to be almost starting once again with a current point difference of the points being 19-3 as number 5 Summer, sorry, I just realized I was doing Summer, not AC, my apologies, has made her first free throw and is about to start her second. She goes up and it bounces off to rim. Through a bit of a hustle, a bit of a scrimmage type thing, Sarah Elmore is successful in getting 2 points.
Number 1 passes it to number 13. And she tries to get it up, but fails to make it. Number 20 tries to get it up, and it is
Out of a travel.
Sarah Elmore currently has the ball. She passes it to number 24 and passes it again to number 12, Braille Bond, but it goes out of bounds. South Baca ball. It will be put in by number 21, Eliana Gutierrez. She passes it to number 23, Sarah Elmore.
Who passes it back over to Eliana, thank you, by the way.
Mhm.
Who goes up for a shot but is blocked and knocked out of bound. However, the ball is hit in such a way where the ball still belongs to South Baca. I cannot see. Sarah Elmore goes for a shot but barely misses as it goes just below a basket. As number 13 on Kenzie, I believe. Yeah, Kenzie. And again, sorry if I say this wrong. There's a travel by on 14, granting the ball back over to South Baca with 2 minutes left on the clock, and the score being 5-19. Sarah Elmo will be starting the ball as she makes her way down court and passes it over to Brielle. Tries to pass it over to no one, but due to there is a shove foul on number 5. On number 1, my bad. Number 1, Carly earns herself a foul as the ball gets successfully stolen and turned into a layup by the Trojans.
Number 11.
Yup, number 11. Good job. As the ball gets fouled a second time by
The
the
Trojans.
Trojans, number 3 in particular, as Sarah Elmore is preparing for her 2 3 throws. She misses her first one. is successful with her second. Um,
The Trojans now have the ball.
as number 13, Kenzie makes way down the ball. Braille tries to keep her dismayed, but it catch pass number 1, who gets pretty close inbounds. As the ball gets stolen, almost gets stolen by the South Baca Patriots, but is quickly recovered by the Trojans, who managed to get, as Kenzie manages to get a 3-pointer. Impressive, as she is quite literally burning up the field with her shots. Sarah Elmer has a free shot, but a free layup, but misses, as there is another foul on 23. No, on 23 of on the
Sarah Elmore.
Sarah Elmer. Yeah, that is about correct. Thank you. Confused her for a second. As number 13 makes her way down and gets almost a free 2-pointer. However, it is unfortunate enough to bounce off the thing and go out of bounds. However, the ball still belongs to the Trojans, as number 5 prepares to pass it in. With a quick remark, passes it over to 13, who passes over to 11 into the middle, and with a little bit of chain back to 13, it goes for a 3-pointer. However, it just barely bounces off the rim, as now Sarah Elmore and Baca, therefore himself, Baca is in custody of the ball. Sarah Elmore has a bit of trouble as she goes for a 2-pointer, which barely gets in the basket as it seems to be rolling on the edges, but she was successful in her shot. As not only that, but she also gets fouled by a Trojan by the number of 11, which is going to be Cody. She misses her first and her second shot, unfortunately.
20 seconds left.
So 20 seconds left on the clock. That is correct. As number 5 basically has a free shot. However, due to a bump on the head due to a hit on the head, on an accidental hit on the head, number 5 gets a foul by 22, which
20.
is going to be Jaden. Jaden Cricket on South Baca. She misses her first free throw. But the ball rolls out of the hoop just as it was about to go in. How unfortunate, as Sarah now has custody of the ball. Sarah being Elmore on South Baca. 3, 2, and 1, and they unfortunately undershoot the 3-pointer.
0.3 seconds.
Ball be there is chances are they're just gonna stall it, which is in fact the case, as halftime has once now begun. While as the boy teams begin to warm up, the current score is 8-23 with Trojans on top, with current stats being 3 points by Summer for the Trojans, 2 points by number 10 Jersey. Sorry again if I'm saying this one. 5 points by Cody. 1 point by Jocelyn, and 13 points by Kenzie, which adds up to 23. Well,
Sarah Elmore
yep,
had 6 points.
8 actually.
Oh, well.
Oh yeah, no 6. My bad. 6.
And she had 2 free throws. And Abigail Anderson had 2 fouls. Sarah Elmore had 2 fouls.
We don't need to do fouls. We don't need to do fouls.
It's stats 7. Jaden Griggett had 1, and Mallory Johnson had 1.
All right, we'll be back shortly. Um, after these next few messages, and until then, yeah.
All of us at Maverick Media
Alright, you
want
don't
to
take
tell
break,
today's
I'll take
players
it
to
on.
work hard and good
Okay.
luck.
I am
One
paying.
of our core values here at Maverick is that we are community focused.
I don't ever recall
We
Miss
want to
Marva
support the
doing
growth
the
of local
values though.
businesses and actively contribute to the strength of our
Your
community.
vowels, it's fine.
Well, I'm
We
not
believe our
gonna, 'cause that's
schools and
kind of
school
mean.
activities do just that, and without them we
I do
all
not
would
care.
suffer.
It is mean.
Let's all remember
It's
to
not
support each other. Stop by and see what Maverick can do for you at
until the next day.
917 Main
You will
Street
have
in
to listen to
Springfield
our
today.
lips.
Cobblestone Inn in Sweet Springfield. We know that travel isn't just about where you go, it's about how you feel along the way. From the moment you walk through our doors, you're more than a guest, you're part of our family. Settle into rooms designed for comfort, where big city quality meets small town warmth. Start your morning with a complimentary breakfast and enjoy the little details to make a big difference. From free Wi-Fi to Janet hospitality, Cobblestone Inn in Sweet Springfield is your place to rest, recharge, and feel at home. Because here, you don't just stay, you belong.
Justa Stitchin, LLC, is your locally owned and operated quilt store since 2001. Mary Lee Freiberger offers many options like Letterman jackets, patches for the jackets, fabric notions, long arm quilting, batting and alterations.
After this, I'm gonna go
Call
do
Mary
a
Lee
little bit of
Freiberger at
pause,
719-523-4985 for more information, or come by at 748 Kansas in Springfield.
I will, but shortly. Alrighty then. I hope you guys are thank you for the to the sponsors, and now you guys will be watching this, but until we will return shortly after the midpoint thingamabobber, sorry, is done. See you in a bit. Alright, here we go. Tiffany, make it point to one of the teams in particular, then the middle. Very perfect. Kind of break and sit down. The one more comfortable. Like,
Okay.
Yeah, 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 thunder. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Shush.
I know.
Are we unmuted?
No, we're muted.
Are you sure?
Positive. Tell me to unmute it. No, I'm not gonna until we're at the 1 minute mark. You see the AUX2? If that's not gray,
Ox. Ox.
AUX,
Ox.
same thing.
Auxiliary.
If this does turn out to be wrong, though, and I'm like completely wrong with things, this is gonna be so embarrassing. Welcome back, everybody. As the game will be starting in roughly a minute, as both teams begin to huddle up. Once again, South Vaca is on the down low with 8 points, while the Trojans have a solid 23 points. And as hopefully both teams are able to play their best and it becomes a close game, as no one likes a one-sided game, as that gets extremely boring. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoy what is coming up, and it appears that the ball starts with the South Baca. So South Baca starts with possession. Tiffany, get off your phone. Yes. Sarah Elmore starts with the ball and passes it over to Eliana, who just holds it. Like, try to consider her options before she rushes over to get closer to the ball as she passes it over to Abigail Anderson. Passes it over back to Eliana. Passes it over to Sarah. As it turned into a double dribble. Granting the ball to the Trojans. The ball now currently in possession by Trojans and number 10. Passes it over to 11. Sit back over to 10. Who goes in for a quick, tries to pass it over to 1, but Sarah successfully intercedes. However, due to her feet tripping up, it goes out of bounds, granting the ball back to, however, luckily, South Vaca still is in possession. As Eliana passes it over to Abigail, passes it back over to Eliana, who loses the ball, however, is successful in getting the ball back and tries to pass it over to someone, but is intercepted by 13, Kenzie, who is successful in getting 2 points.
Sarah Elmore passes it to Abigail Anderson, who goes up
and misses as a foul is called on
number
13. That would be Kenzie. Her first foul, actually, despite what the board says, as Abigail barely misses her first free throw, as Brielle and Mary switch in for Eliana and Mallory. I did not turn into a microwave there. 24. Abigail misses her shot, but as the ball is stolen by the Trojans, who immediately go for a quick 3-pointer. However, it bounces off the rim and the ball gets stolen by Abigail. Passes it over to Elmore.
Sarah Elmore passes it up, but
However,
it's quickly stolen by the Trojans. Number 5
goes up for a 2-pointer, because I already forgot the name. Two-point layup, thank you, and gets the ball.
Sarah Elmore goes in, and she goes up, but does not quite make it.
As number 13 once again rushes down court and loses the ball due to her tripping up. Luckily, Carly was able to recover fast enough to go pass over to 10 and go for a shot. However, due to a foul, not only did they get more points by number 10, only did number 10 base 10 get 2 points. Jersey, but also 22 being Jaden gets her second foul. She number 5 misses her first free throw, but and pays for a second. She goes up and it bounces off the rim. However, luckily the Trojans are able to are able to are with a little bit of scrimmage, loses the ball to Sarah Elmore as she passes it over to Brielle for a quick shot, but who gets overwhelmed and quickly passes it over to Jaden. Passes it over to Abigail, who goes for a 2 point, a close up 2 pointer. He manages to get it, as now the points is 10 to 27, with the Trojans on top. There we go. Elmore now has the ball and is making her way down court. She passes it over to 24. Abigail goes up for a one, who goes up, or tries to go up for a quick 5 pointer, but due to a jump ball, the ball gets swapped over to the Trojans. I need to breathe. Okay. Number 10, leading the charge, who passes it over to 1. Who immediately passes it over to 11. Passes it over to 10 for a free, to go for a 3 pointer, which is mostly guarded. However, it goes out of bounds, granting the ball to South Baca Patriots.
Sarah Elmore, will pass it in to Brielle Bond.
Who passes it back. Thank you once again. Sarah Elmore passes it back to Bond, who loses the ball to
number 5,
Summer, who gets a quick layup, granting her 2 points. Good for her. As Elmore now has the ball and passes it over to Abigail, who is relatively close to the hoop. However, it misses her shot and it goes out of bounds. However, South Baca gets to keep said ball on their side as Brielle Bond prepares to pass it in. She tries to pass it in to Mary Brewer, but gets stolen by the Trojans, to go up as number 5, as Summer goes in for yet another layup and is successful in said attempt. Elmore is leading the charge, the new offensive charge, hoping that maybe she could go in. However, a quick trip up of her feet and a quick 360 turn, the ball gets turned in possession of the Trojans. Whatever. As she passes it, as the ball now belongs to 1, who goes for a 3 pointer but bounces off the hoop. After a quick travel by Abigail, the ball now belongs to the Trojans for a second time. Its current score being 10 to 31. Trojans on top. The timer at 33 minutes and 36 seconds. Number 13, Kenzie immediately goes for a 2 pointer, but it bounces off the rim as the ball gets passed over to Sarah Elmore. Quite an athletic girl she is.
Yeah, I would have to agree.
Brewer goes for a long distance 2 shot, but it overshoots it as it goes out of bounds. However, South Baca is still in possession of said ball. Abigail Anderson prepares the pass in. Passes it over to Elmore, who goes for a quick swoop. Who goes for a 2 pointer, but is a bit too weak in her shot. Granting number 11, Cody, to get a layup. As Sarah passes it over to Abigail, who goes in for a close 2-pointer. The ball gets stolen by Jalen, who passes it over to 11, who tries to go for a rebound. However, gets tripped up over on her own feet as the ball gets knocked out of bounds, bouncing the ball back over to South Back Patriots. As the ball gets passed to Jazzy, who passes it back over to Elmore. Elmore is leading by offensive charge as she passes it over to Jazzy, who passes it over to Brielle Bond, who tries to get her way up to the thing, but loses her grip on the ball. However, that said ball gets knocked out of bounds as now Eliana has subbed in for Brewer. Eliana tries to pass it into to Abigail. However, the ball gets stolen. As 23, Sarah gets herself a foul. A shove to be specific. That being her third foul.
She's almost fouled out.
And she still has 2 more, she'll be fine. Number 11 goes for a 3-pointer as the ball gets jumped ball by Sarah and number 20. The ball now belongs to Baca Patriots as Eliana prepares to pass it in. All right, here we go. Sarah immediately passes it over to Jazz, Jazz, Jazzy. Yes, I don't know why I'm having so much difficulty there. Pat, who goes in as
Sarah Elmer
gets a 2-pointer. Thank you. I was trying to do guys there. 12 currently is in possession of the ball. Passes it over to 11. Cody, who passes it in Cody, as 12 tries to get the ball. However, after a bit of a bump up with Jazzy, gets rolled out of bounds. However, the ball is still in possession. The Trojan is still in possession of the ball. Goodness, I can't speak today. My apologies. Number 5 tries to go for a quick 3-pointer and is successful as Summer gets herself a layup, score being 12 to 35.
She now has
a
total of
9 points.
Yep, 9 points.
As Jazzy passes it over to Brielle Bond. Passes it over to Elmore, who passes it over to Abigail to maybe try getting a quick close range shot, but is overwhelmed. So Elmore goes for a 3-pointer, which unfortunately bounces off the rim. As she is then fouled by 20, number 20, Jalen, who gets fouled by Jalen. Let's see if Abigail can get these free throws. She misses her first one, unfortunately. She shoots for another and manages to get this one this time. Good for her. As now, number 12. As now, Joslyn passes it into Jersey. Again, sorry if I say this wrong. Number 3 goes for a 3-pointer. However, it bounces off the rim. As Sarah is fighting for possession with who loses the as 12 as Brielle tries to pass it forward. However, Elmore is not prepared, which causes the ball to go out of bounds.
45 seconds left on the clock, exact.
Exactly, 45 seconds. As now, oh good.
The Trojans have control of the ball.
As the ball immediately gets put into the middle, however, it gets bounced back to 12. As a bit of a chain reaction, 13 is up with the ball and barely misses a layup. As the ball rolls off South Baca's sleeve and gets called out of bounds. However, after a quick 30 seconds timeout, they are starting to reconsider. Now, if you guys want to actually try for schools who are watching this, if you ever want to try doing a similar thing with broadcasting stuff for your school, like South Baca and many others are, as shown on screen, just contact
Brad Doherty.
yes Brad Doherty or for parents to do this, as this is actually a lot of fun for the students, myself included.
It's a very, very enjoyable experience that
As
everybody will enjoy.
yes, as not only do we enjoy our time doing this, but we also get paid for doing this, which is more of an upside than anything. Now, back to the action. Uh, Trojans start with the ball. However, it gets quickly a turnaround happens as now Elmore owns said ball. Elmore being part of Baca. Sorry, I didn't. With roughly 15 seconds left on the time, let's see if South Baca is successful in getting a point. South Baca goes for a shot as Eliana goes for a quick three-pointer, which bounces off. However, Elmore is able to go for a rebound and get herself a quick two-pointer. As the, as the buzzer hits for the end of the third period, the current score is 15-35. We'll be back shortly after this ad.
Brooks Farms, a proud supporter of Southeast Colorado
It's a message,
sports,
Devin.
wishes all student athletes a successful season.
I connect to Brooks
We
Farm,
wish
right?
you success in developing
Brooks Farm.
skills that will be used in everyday life.
Brooks Farm.
Teamwork,
I'm so
dedication,
smart.
and work ethic. Good luck to all athletes of Southeast Colorado.
So
Keep telling that to yourself.
wise and smart.
Since 1956, People's Credit Union has been dedicated to serving the hardworking farmers, ranchers, and residents of Southeast Colorado. With locations in Springfield and Lamar, we're here for you. Join our community of members at peoples-cu.com and experience a financial institution that truly cares. People's Credit Union. We work for you, committed to providing professional, accurate, and prompt financial services. People's Credit Union, your trusted financial partner since 1956. Member NCUA and Equal Opportunity Lender.
Right, welcome back. As the the ball is currently in Trojan possession at the start of as the fourth and final quarter. The ball gets led. The offensive attempt is led by number 13, who passes to 12, who immediately goes for a three-pointer. However, it gets counted as a travel. Now South Mecca is in possession of said ball. Sarah Lee, Elmore leads, sorry, and she's reconsidering her options as she passes it over to Brielle. Goes for a quick short screen as she passes it over to Abigail. Loses the ball due to a bit of a clumsy hand. As granting number 12, Jocelyn with a quick, what's it called? A layup. Sarah goes for a quick two-pointer, which she is successful with. Good for her. With number 13, Caitlin leading the ball. She passes it over to 12, who passes it over to 10, who accidentally bumps it out of bounds, granting the ball to the South Baca team. As Eliana prepares to pass it into Sarah Elmore, the game decides it is a good idea to do game stuff. Yes, that makes sense. Anyway,
Sure.
I don't know what happened to my Jazzy fell as number 5 Summer goes in for a quick layup.
Sarah Elmore goes down the court. Pass it to Brielle Bond, number 12.
Who does a quick pass over to Eliana, who passes it over to Sarah as she gets overwhelmed. She seems to be considering options as she passes it over to Abigail Anderson Passes it over to Eliana, who passes it to Sarah. Sorry, get too fast. Who goes for a quick rebound, not rebound thing, but is a jump ball occurs as South Baca gets to keep possession. I need a moment to slow down.
Sarah Elmore goes for it, but it bounces out.
Good three-pointer attempt. As 13, Caitlin gets a good ties Kinsey, not Caitlin. I am so sorry. I've been saying Caitlin this entire time. I meant Kenzie. I am so sorry. Against a layup as a jump ball happened, granting the ball to the Trojans as a yes. Trojans with Kenzie starting with it, passes over to 12, who goes for a shot, but it bounces off the rim. Elmore is successful in retrieving the ball, as Eliana leads the charge, the offensive charge, with a bit of skilled dribbling. She managed to get over to Sarah, who almost gets a 3-pointer. However, the ball gets knocked out of bounds, granting the ball to Trojans. Number 13 leads the offensive charge as she passes it over to number 1, who passes it over to number 10, passes it back over to 13, who goes for a far-away 2-pointer, which tries to get rebounded by number 5, but misses. And in an attempt to get the ball, a jump ball occurs, granting the possession to South Baca. Eliana passes it over to Sarah Elmore.
Sarah.
5 minutes left on the clock, roughly.
Pass it to Mallory Johnson.
Solid pass there, overhand pass. As she gets as close to the hoop as possible. However, due to getting overwhelmed and pushed against out of bounds, she passes it over, which grants, and even with a little bit of finanzo, is that word? The ball gets out of bounds, granting, however, South Baca keeps the possession. Mary passes it over to Sarah, passes it into Cricket, who gets stolen, which causes the ball to get stolen by Kenzie. However, Kenzie is stalled. However, that does not stop Cordy from getting a layup anyway. As Sarah is once again leading the charge, only for it to get stolen, or at least try to get stolen by Kenzie, but end up bouncing it out of bounds. After a quick teams reset, as Brielle and JC are put on. Number Kenzie manages to pass over to Harley, who gets a solid rebound. Not rebound. No, sorry. A layup. Yes. However, it seems as a minute long timeout. I don't know what's wrong with my mind right now. Is called. We'll be back after these messages.
Since 1956, People's Credit Union has been dedicated to serving the hardworking farmers, ranchers, and residents of Southeast Colorado. With locations in Springfield and Lamar, we're here for you. Join our community of members at peoples-cu.com and experience a financial institution that truly cares. People's Credit Union. We work for you, committed to providing professional, accurate, and prompt financial services. People's Credit Union, your trusted financial partner since 1956. Member NCUA and Equal Opportunity Lender.
Alrighty then, welcome back to the show. Game, whatever you want to call it. As the ball possession immediately gets given to South Baca, as Sarah passes it over to Grigget, who seems a bit confused on what to do, but ultimately decides to pass it over to Sarah, who ends up passing it back to Grigget, passes it over to loses the ball temporarily, passes it over to Sarah, who's in middle, who passes it over to JC, and with a little bit of a quick turnaround, tries to get a 2-pointer on Morales, but misses as the ball gets passed inwards. 23 passes it over to Jaden, who Grigget, who is really close to a 2-pointer. However, a ball gets stolen, and number 3 fails a layup, guaranteeing the ball to Sarah, who gets a little bit of a head start on the defense, causing her to get earn herself a 2-pointer. Good for her. With the time being 2 minutes 45 seconds left, it seems as though there's that both teams are putting their best into their plays as Trojans go on to lose the ball to the South Africa Patriots. Well, would have if the ball didn't slip out of their hands and rolled out of bounds. The ball gets passed into passed in and immediately goes as Trojans immediately go for a 3-pointer. Real Bond and 12 being and Jocelyn go get the bit scrimmage, which earns a jump ball, which goes towards the Trojans. Yes. Who number number 3 goes for a quick 3-pointer but misses as the ball is now in possession of goes which causes it to go out of bounds as the ball is still in possession of the Trojans. I have no clue. There we go. As 23 gets their hands on a solid 3-pointer. That 23. Sorry. 23 gets their hands on a 3-pointer. The ball gets passed over to number 20, who goes up for a layup, but misses. As Elmore is now in custody of the ball, has custody of the ball. Cricket seems to be complimenting her options as she passes it inwards to Sarah, who goes for a 2-pointer and is successful. Let's go. Good for her. With
The Trojans now have possession of the ball.
Sarah is successful in stealing said ball and makes her way down as South Back Patriots prepare for offense.
1 minute, 5 seconds on the clock.
Wicket goes for a 3-pointer, but barely misses it as it bounces off the backboard. Number 3 shows no mercy as it rushes the back hill. However, she passes it over to 23, who passes it over to 14, and after a bit of a chain of events, 12 ends up going for a 3-pointer. However, fails as several rebound attempts later, the ball ends up going out of bounds, granting the ball to South Baca Patriots with pretty much 40 seconds left on the clock. The ball seems to be the score seems to be a bit one-sided, but that is fine as long as both teams have fun and is doing their best. Doesn't matter who wins. It doesn't matter who wins. As Sarah goes for a quick 2-pointer, but is fouled by none other than number 12. That being Jocelyn. Sarah goes for her shots as it is her first free throw. She gets successfully. Seems like the pressure is getting to her, which is, in this case, a good thing. One more. And she makes both of them. Good job for her. Now, number 20, the ball is now in possession of number 3, Trojans. As the ball gets knocked, as yet another foul occurs, granting as the
Number 22.
22. Thank you. I was confused on who that was that they were motioning. Jaden gets herself her 3rd foul. Roughly 13 seconds left. 14-ish, more likely. Let's see if 20 can get her free frozen. Jalen misses her first, but let's see if she can hit her second. And she makes it in by a hair. Good job. Good job, Jalen. Good job. As Sarah has 5 seconds left to shoot. They might as well go in for a no-brainer. And barely gets in by Jaden. Well, it was a good game as with the score of 49-25. Trojans on top. With the current stats of the Trojans being a 2-pointer for Carly, number 1. 2 points. We'll be back after these messages so we can calculate stats. Yes, that makes sense. We will be back shortly.
At Ogallala Commons, we aim to support vibrant High Plains communities, and a critical part of that is workforce and leadership development. In the past 20 years, we've hosted nearly 800 community-based paid internships for students and adults, and invested thousands of dollars in youth business owners through entrepreneurship fair competitions. Learn more or apply at ogallalacommons.org/efair or ogallalacommons.org/internships.
15 0 0 1 0 3. Came out of nowhere. I have no clue where that was. Oh, my bad.
All of us at Maverick Media want to tell today's players to work hard and good luck. One of our core values here at Maverick is that we are community focused. We want to support the growth of local businesses and actively contribute to the strength of our community. We believe our schools and school activities do just that, and without them we all would suffer. Let's all remember to support each other. Stop by and see what Maverick can do for you at 917 Main Street in Springfield today.
What?
Cobblestone Inn in sweet Springfield. We know that travel isn't just about where you go, it's about how you feel along the way. From the moment you walk through our doors, you're more than a guest, you're part of our family. Settle into rooms designed for comfort, where big city quality meets small town warmth. Start your morning with a complimentary breakfast and enjoy the little details to make a big difference. From free Wi-Fi to Janet hospitality, Cobblestone Inn in Sweet Springfield is your place to rest, recharge, and feel at home. Because here, you don't just stay, you belong.
Justa Stitchin, LLC, is your locally owned and operated quilt store since 2001. Mary Lee Freiberger offers many options like Letterman jackets, patches for the jackets, fabric notions, long arm quilting, batting and alterations. Call Mary Lee Freiberger at 719-523-4985 for more information, or come by at 748 Kansas in Springfield.
And then 1 3.
That makes 15.
Oh.
Alrighty then. So our stats for the Trojans with number 1 player, Carly, had 2 points and 1 foul. Summer had 11 points worth of 11 points. Jersey had 4 points. Cody had 11 points. Jocelyn had 3 points. Kinsey had 15 points. Jalen had 1 point and 23, who I did not catch his number. name was number 3 with 3 points. Well, South Baca had
South Baca for Mallory. She had 1 foul.
no.
Jaden had 2 points, 3 fouls. Sarah had 20 points and 3 fouls. And Abigail Anderson had 3 points, 2 fouls. These are unofficial stats.
These are unofficial, very much so. So take that with a grain of salt. We will make sure to keep your eyes out for the boys game, which will be coming shortly. See you guys in a bit. Bye.